The growing season may be coming to an end, but your job in the garden isn't finished yet. Fall is a critical moment for your soil. Leave it exposed and it slowly loses strength. But plant the right cover crops and you set the stage for explosive growth when spring returns. Many gardeners assume cover crops are only for large farms, but that's not true. Even in a small backyard or raised bed, they can rebuild worn-out soil, increase fertility, and stop weeds before they even start. These plants aren't meant to feed you directly, they feed your soil. They protect it from erosion, capture and recycle nutrients, fix nitrogen, and support the microbial life that keeps your garden thriving. Today, we're exploring 5 powerful fall cover crops that can completely transform your garden from the ground up. Let's begin. 1. Winter rye, the ultimate cold weather soil builder. If you were to choose just one cover crop for fall, winter rye would be one of the best options. It's tough, dependable, and continues working even when the rest of your garden has shut down. While your summer crops fade away, winter rye is just getting started. Think of it as a protective layer for your soil, a living shield that works through the entire winter. Whether you're growing in raised beds or open ground, rye plays a powerful role in restoring and protecting the soil. One of its greatest strengths is its tolerance to cold. Frost, snow, and freezing temperatures don't stop it. Instead, it continues developing underground, building a dense network of roots that hold the soil in place and draw nutrients up from deeper layers. These roots improve soil structure by creating natural channels for air and water, while also supporting beneficial organisms like earthworms and microbes. Above the surface, rye forms a thick green cover that protects the soil from erosion caused by rain and snow. It also suppresses weeds not just by blocking sunlight, but by releasing natural compounds that inhibit their growth. But the real transformation happens underground. As roots grow and break down, they feed the soil ecosystem, bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that convert nutrients into forms plants can use. It's like composting happening directly in your garden beds. In spring, when you cut the rye, its biomass becomes a natural mulch, helping retain moisture and regulate temperature. The result is rich, soft, biologically active soil ready for planting. Planting is simple. Clear the area, loosen the top layer of soil, scatter the seeds, rake them in lightly, and water. Within a couple of weeks, you'll see a green cover forming. Even under snow, rye continues doing its job. And when spring arrives, it quickly resumes growth. Before it sets seed, cut it down and leave the residue as mulch or lightly mix it into the soil. The result? Healthier soil, stronger plants, and better yields. Winter rye may not be flashy, but it's one of the most powerful tools you can use to improve your garden long term. 2. Crimson clover, nature's fertilizer engine. If winter rye provides strength, crimson clover brings life and fertility. It's not only useful, it's also incredibly beautiful. When it blooms, it covers your garden in deep red flowers that almost look like velvet moving in the wind. But its true power lies underground. Crimson clover belongs to the legume family, which means it has a unique ability. It captures nitrogen from the air. Through a partnership with beneficial bacteria in its roots, it converts atmospheric nitrogen into a form that plants can use. While most crops consume nutrients, clover actually produces them. When you cut it down in spring, all that stored nitrogen becomes available for your next crops, boosting growth naturally without synthetic fertilizers. But it does even more than that. Its roots help stabilize the soil, preventing erosion and compaction. Above ground, its dense foliage acts as a natural mulch, shading out weeds before they can establish. And when it flowers, it attracts pollinators, bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects, bringing life and activity into your garden. Planting crimson clover is easy. Clear the soil, scatter the seeds, lightly rake them in, and water. Within a week or two, you'll see fresh green growth covering your beds. It also works well in combination with other cover crops. Pair it with winter rye for a balanced system. Rye improves structure while clover adds nitrogen. In spring, cut it before it sets seed and leave the plant material on the surface as mulch. The roots will break down slowly, feeding the soil and improving its structure. After a few weeks, your garden will be ready for planting, and you'll notice the difference immediately. The soil will feel softer, darker, and full of life. Crimson clover isn't just a cover crop, it's a complete soil building system. It improves fertility, supports biodiversity, and restores balance naturally. When you see those deep red flowers in spring, it's more than just a beautiful display. It's a sign that your soil is healthy, active, and ready for a productive season ahead. 3. Daikon radish, the underground soil engineer. This one often surprises people. Daikon radish, sometimes called tillage radish or forage radish. Most gardeners know it as that long, white root used in cooking. But beneath the surface, it's one of the most powerful tools for improving soil you can grow. If you've ever dealt with hard, compacted, or heavy clay soil, Daikon radish can completely change the game. Instead of relying on heavy equipment or constant digging, this plant does the work for you, quietly, naturally, and incredibly effectively. Think of it as a living tool. Daikon develops a massive taproot that can reach down 2 feet or more. As it pushes through the soil, it breaks apart dense layers that even tools struggle to penetrate. It's like a natural drill, opening up the ground and forming channels that bring life back into the soil. And here's where it gets even better. When winter arrives and frost kills the plant, the root begins to decompose right where it grew. What's left behind are deep, perfectly shaped channels, natural pathways that allow air, water, and future plant roots to move freely. This doesn't just loosen the soil, it restores it. No machines, no disruption, and no damage to the delicate ecosystem underground. Daikon works like a natural reset, improving structure while preserving the living biology of the soil. But its benefits don't stop there. Daikon is also an incredible nutrient recycler. Its deep roots reach into layers of soil that most plants can't access, pulling up minerals and nutrients that would otherwise be lost. These nutrients are stored in the root, and when it breaks down, they're released back into the upper soil, exactly where your next crops need them. It's a closed-loop system. Nothing wasted, everything returned. And growing it couldn't be easier. Simply scatter the seeds in late summer or early fall, about half an inch deep, and spaced a few inches apart. It germinates quickly, often within just a few days. Soon after, you'll see strong green growth above the surface, while below, those roots are already working. It handles cooler weather well and continues developing as temperatures drop. You don't even need to harvest it, just let it grow and do its job. By late fall, you'll notice the tops of the roots pushing above the soil. That's your sign that the real work is happening below. Then, once frost hits, the plant naturally breaks down and begins feeding the soil. When spring arrives, the difference is obvious. What was once dense and lifeless soil becomes soft, loose, and full of life. You can plant directly into it, no digging required. Those decomposed roots become organic matter, feeding soil microbes and improving moisture retention. Future crops can grow deeper, faster, and stronger by following the natural channels left behind. There's even another hidden benefit: weed control. Daikon grows quickly and forms a dense canopy that blocks light, preventing weeds from establishing. So while it's rebuilding your soil underground, it's also keeping your garden clean above ground. Whether you're working with a backyard plot, raised beds, or a larger garden, Daikon radish is one of the simplest and most effective improvements you can make. It reduces effort, improves soil structure, balances nutrients, and boosts life, all without lifting a shovel. If your soil feels tired or compacted, don't fight it. Work with nature. Plant Daikon radish, and by spring, you'll be working with rich, airy, living soil. It's not just a root crop, it's a complete underground system, quietly transforming your garden from the inside out. 4. Field peas, the gentle builders of fertility. If you're looking for a cover crop that combines beauty with serious soil building power, field peas, also known as Austrian winter peas, are an excellent choice. They may look soft and delicate, with their thin vines and curling tendrils, but beneath that gentle appearance lies a powerful system for improving soil fertility. Field peas belong to the legume family, which gives them a unique ability. They can capture nitrogen directly from the air. Through a partnership with beneficial bacteria in their roots, they convert atmospheric nitrogen into a form that plants can use. In other words, while most plants take nutrients from the soil, field peas actually add them. When the plants break down, all that stored nitrogen is released into the soil, feeding future crops naturally. This makes them an excellent alternative to synthetic fertilizers, providing one of the most essential nutrients completely free. But nitrogen is just part of the story. Field peas grow quickly and handle cool temperatures well, making them ideal for fall planting. As they grow, They cover the soil with a thick layer of greenery, protecting it from erosion, heavy rain, and harsh winds. Their vines act like a living mulch, helping retain moisture and prevent weeds from taking over. One of their greatest strengths is how well they work with other cover crops. When combined with grains like rye, oats, or barley, they form a balanced system. The peas supply nitrogen while the grasses contribute organic matter and improve soil structure with their roots. Together, they create a natural soil-building partnership that restores tired ground quickly and efficiently. Many gardeners describe the result as perfectly balanced soil, rich in nutrients, well-structured, and full of life. Field peas are especially useful in sandy or light soils that struggle to retain water and nutrients. Their roots improve soil texture, increasing its ability to hold moisture and organic matter, turning dry soil into something far more productive. And despite their benefits, they're incredibly easy to grow. Simply scatter the seeds across prepared soil or plant them about an inch deep. Water lightly, and within a week, you'll see new growth emerging. From there, they quickly form a dense green cover. In milder climates, they may survive through winter, continuing to grow slowly. In colder regions, they'll naturally die back after frost, but even that is beneficial. As they decompose, they form a nutrient-rich mulch layer that improves soil quality by spring. When the season changes, you can cut them down before they flower and leave them on the surface or lightly incorporate them into the soil. Either way, they break down and feed the soil, thus preparing it for the next planting cycle. The results are easy to notice. The soil becomes softer, darker, and more active, often filled with earthworms, a clear sign of healthy soil life. Field peas are a reminder that building fertile soil doesn't have to be complicated. By working with natural systems, you can improve your garden in a sustainable and effective way. They're simple, productive, and incredibly generous, quietly preparing your garden for stronger growth in the seasons ahead. 5. Mustard, the garden's natural soil cleanser. And finally, let's take a closer look at one of the most underestimated fall cover crops: mustard. Most people associate mustard with the bright yellow condiment sitting in their fridge, but in the garden, this plant is something entirely different. Fast-growing, aggressive in a good way, and incredibly effective, mustard acts like nature's own soil detox system. Mustard belongs to the brassica family, just like cabbage, kale, and broccoli, but it has a unique advantage that sets it apart. When mustard plants are cut down or incorporated into the soil, they release compounds called glucosinolates. As these compounds break down, they transform into isothiocyanates, the same substances responsible for mustard's sharp, spicy flavor. Here's where it gets interesting. Those compounds act as a natural biofumigant. In simple terms, they help cleanse the soil. They suppress harmful fungi, soil-borne diseases, nematodes, and certain bacteria that can persist in the ground year after year. It's like giving your garden a deep, natural reset without relying on synthetic chemicals. If you've ever dealt with issues like root knot nematodes, fusarium wilt, or clubroot, mustard can be incredibly valuable. It disrupts these problems at their source, reducing their presence and helping restore balance to the soil ecosystem. In fact, many organic growers rely on mustard as a natural alternative to chemical soil treatments. That's how powerful it is. But pest and disease control is only part of the story. Mustard is also incredibly fast-growing. In just 4 to 5 weeks, it can reach knee height, covering the soil with a thick layer of vibrant green leaves. This rapid growth blocks sunlight from reaching weed seeds, preventing them from germinating. At the same time, it protects the soil from erosion and helps retain moisture during the fall season. As it grows, mustard also acts as a nutrient recycler. Its roots pull valuable elements like nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur from deeper soil layers. These nutrients are stored in the plant's tissues and then returned to the topsoil when the plant decomposes. It's a natural recycling system that keeps nutrients in circulation instead of letting them wash away. Planting mustard is simple and accessible for any gardener. After clearing your beds, scatter the seeds evenly across the surface and lightly rake them in, just about a 1/4 inch deep. Mustard germinates quickly, often within just a few days, even in cooler temperatures. With light watering during the first week, it quickly establishes and forms a dense green cover. Timing plays an important role, especially if you want to maximize its soil cleansing effect. For the strongest biofumigation, cut the plants down before they begin to flower. while they are still tender and rich in those active compounds. Then incorporate the chopped material lightly into the top layer of soil. As you do this, you may notice a sharp, tangy scent. That's the natural process taking place. After incorporating mustard, it's best to let the soil rest for a couple of weeks. This gives the natural compounds time to break down and allows soil life to process the organic material. During this period, microbes get to work, transforming plant matter into nutrients and building healthier soil structure. By the time spring arrives, the results are noticeable. The soil becomes softer, more fertile, and more balanced. Drainage improves, weed pressure decreases, and many common soil problems are significantly reduced. It's like starting the season with a refreshed, revitalized foundation. There's also an added benefit if you allow some plants to bloom. Mustard flowers attract pollinators such as bees, hoverflies, and beneficial insects, supporting biodiversity in your garden. Even if your main goal is soil improvement, letting a portion flower can enhance the ecosystem around you. For even better results, mustard can be combined with other cover crops. Pair it with grasses like rye or oats to increase organic matter, or mix it with legumes such as peas or clover to balance nitrogen levels. Together, they form a powerful system that improves soil from multiple angles. In the end, mustard is one of those plants that delivers far more than expected. It cleans, nourishes, and protects your soil, all within a single growing season. Whether you're dealing with pests, poor soil structure, or simply preparing your garden for the next year, mustard is an incredibly effective solution. It's quick to grow, completely natural, and one of the easiest ways to reset and strengthen your soil for the future. So this fall, don't overlook mustard. Beneath its simple appearance lies one of the most powerful tools for building healthy, thriving soil.